Right now, we want to get to this. Sunday's windstorm kept power companies busy yesterday. So the latest check shows PG has 46 total outages right now and over 1,700 customers affected as far south as Salem. There were also a lot of outages in southwest Washington yesterday, but we did check last hour and saw that crews had restored power there to more than 2,000 customers early this morning. So we're talking about a storm that definitely packed a punch, and crews were working around the area yesterday to help prevent major damage and also to help with any cleanup that was necessary.
The Portland Bureau of Transportation was out this weekend clearing drains so streets wouldn't flood. And after severe weather like February's historic ice storm and this summer's record heat, Pacific Power hired more help.
Why was it important to bring meteorologists into your team?
We know generally where the highest impact areas are going to be. How would that impact our systems from, southern Washington all the way down to northern California, because that's a very diverse landscape, and that really helps with our decision making and resource allocation.
Pacific Power reminds you to play it safe when you're out driving, keep your headlights on, and be mindful that broken traffic lights become four-way stops.
Well, sadly, 2 people were killed by a falling tree from this storm in Washington. It happened east of Seattle Sunday afternoon. A tree snapped and then hit this car as it was driving. Part of the trunk measured 8 feet across. Both people inside were killed.
What really makes me take pause and my heart go out to people is the fact that having had a look at the car, I see 2 pumpkins in the back that probably need carving. And my heart goes out to the families.
No kidding. At the peak of the storm yesterday, more than 120,000 people in the Puget Sound area were without power. That's now down to just over 30,000.
Now to the escalating gun violence in Portland. Over the weekend, the city set a record for homicides in 2021. A man and woman killed in Old Town Sunday morning are the 71st and 72nd homicides this year. That means Portland passed its grim record of 70 homicides set back in 1987. Here's what we know about this latest shooting. It happened in the 300 block of Northwest 6th Avenue just before 6:30 yesterday morning. That's where police found the 2 victims dead. They also arrested Michael Van Doleman at the scene. He now faces first-degree murder charges.
So that shooting in Old Town was just one of 19 that Portland police are tracking from over the weekend. A lot of them happened on the east side. So this map we're showing you shows all the different locations that officers were sent to starting Friday, shortly after midnight, up through that double homicide in Old Town on Sunday morning. Portland police told us at least 95 bullet casings were recovered in connection to all these different shootings, and they did manage to arrest several people. You can read more about any one of these weekend shootings that police are investigating on our website, kgw.com.
Well, another crisis Portland is facing, of course, is homelessness. And Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler says there are just too many unsanctioned camps in the city. He says it's time to start clearing them, especially those close to schools, sensitive natural areas, homes, and businesses. The mayor was focused on finding areas that would give those experiencing homelessness access to basic services like a toilet or water and laundry, maybe even transportation.
The goal should be 0 unsanctioned homeless camps in the city of Portland. Why? Because that is humane. Allowing people to live in squalor and to be victimized on the street, that is inhumane.
The mayor's comments come on the heels of Commissioner Dan Ryan's plan that calls for half a dozen city-sanctioned camps. As the mayor points out, those villages, though, will only hold about 60 people each.
Now that the CDC and the FDA have approved all 3 COVID vaccines for boosters, the question is, when should you get one?
So here's something to keep in mind. It is up to individual states to distribute the booster shots, and then pharmacies are responsible for giving them out. KGW's Christelle Coonway spoke with a local cancer patient who explained that for her, getting the booster shot is a big deal.
With more people in Oregon now a step closer to getting booster shots, it's welcome news to people like Cheryl Schock.
The more people around me, the more in the community that are vaccinated and boosted, I feel more protected.
Cheryl has cancer and is in remission. She has had the 2-shot Pfizer vaccine plus the booster. But because of her ongoing health challenges, the vaccine is not as effective as it is for others. So she relies on others getting the vaccine to keep the community around her safe.
I have high risk for mortality from my cancer. Now I have high risk because I don't have vaccination coverage. So I'm really very, very cautious.
When Cheryl got the Pfizer booster, it was the only one authorized. Late last week, though, the FDA and CDC endorsed the boosters from both Moderna and Johnson & Johnson. The CDC also said it's okay to mix and match, meaning people can get a booster of a different type and still get the benefits. After the news from the FDA and CDC, the group of Western states, which include California, Washington, and Oregon, quickly approved the boosters for use late Friday. For Cheryl, that news is a big sigh of relief.
It is, especially if they're getting boosters and have high protection.
We should know not everyone can get the boosters right now. Anyone over 65 can get the shot. Others who meet certain criteria can as well, including anyone over 18 with underlying medical conditions. We have more information about the boosters and the list of who is eligible on our website at kgw.com. I'm Christelle Kumwe for KGW News.
Well, for some kids, the food programs at their school are the only consistent source of nourishment that they get every week. So a local Boy Scout is working to help those kids on the weekend when there is no school. For his Eagle Scout project, 17-year-old Tabor Katrinos raised more than $3,000. And then this weekend, he had people join him to help pack 600 bags of food. Those bags also contained a personal touch.
Writing letters that are going to be placed in each bag with a positive message for the community, just to let the kids know that their community cares about them and that somebody's thinking about them.
Again, that's Eagle Scout Tabor Katrinos. He's working with Portland Backpack. That's a nonprofit that provides food to kids at risk of hunger. The group's director says food insecurity is more prevalent now than ever before. And this Friday, they'll give those bags to students who rely on free school meals during the week.